Guys, so lately I've been feeling a little bit guilty because I had some really neat stuff sent to me just before the quarantine started, and I told the company I'd get it out pretty quick, but I had to try it out first, and I tried it out and I really loved it, but I still didn't get the video up. So now you guys didn't know about it and they're waiting on this review. I like to give something this expensive a really long test trial period, and so what I've done with this one is, I should tell you what it is first. This is a portable rechargeable battery pack. You can pretty cool, I would have to say. I think they retail for $500. I had an Airbnb-er who had used one. She had used one out in the cabin because she wanted to be able to charge her computer and her phone, and she would bring it in once a week and charge it in the basement. This is the exact one that my Airbnb-er had used, and so I told them yes, otherwise I would have thought it was just a gimmick. But I'd already seen it in use. And what I use this for is I run it to run my lights out in the cabin because I don't have electricity in the cabin, so if I need to have better lighting, I just take this out and I plug my light in and it works great. I also take it in my car so that I can charge my computer when I am traveling and I don't have electricity. I also use it to charge my phone and my jetpack, which is my internet for when I'm traveling. Now, other things can be plugged into this. This is their, I think this is kind of their medium-sized unit. They have smaller units and they have much larger units. And so one of the things that people had mentioned to me when I put a post for this on Facebook was that they would like to have something like this for their CPAP machine so that they could go camping. And other things like that if you needed to be away from power for a little while and you had some life-saving equipment. With this particular machine, I don't know how well it keeps from surging. I mean, I use it on my computer and I have noticed that it charges very, very quickly when I charge my computer in. It hasn't damaged it, but it does make me wonder, because I'm not a technical person, to look at it and say, is it supposed to charge that fast? I've also found that my computer is a little bit glitchy if I try to use it while I'm charging it. So I think that it is a little bit different from what happens if you plug it into a wall outlet. I think there is a little bit of surging, but it didn't damage any of the equipment that I plugged into it. And I wonder if I were just to plug my computer in and just leave it and let it sit and charge, if part of the problem was that I was trying to process things with it instead of just letting it charge. So I will say that. So as far as life-saving equipment that you would want to plug into something like this and be able to take somewhere, I would say do your research on which size you need. This is meant to plug a phone into, or a laptop, or maybe a small light bulb. It handled my LED light that I use for filming just fine. I understand you can plug a fridge into it, and so the amount of time that it can actually run those appliances varies according to what the power usage is, obviously, but it also advertises that you can plug in a slow cooker and use it with this, and it works just fine. And so I have really enjoyed having this in my closet because we've been having some brownouts lately where we'll have flickering lights and the power will kind of struggle, and then we've had some power outages as well, some short-term power outages, and it means, having this means that I don't even miss a beat. I can plug my phone in, I can keep working, I can plug my computer in, I can keep working, and this charge goes for a very long time. It takes a really long time to run this battery down. So it just has a power source, and you can see the little display right there, and then you pick DC or AC depending on what you are plugging in and what its power needs are. And again, it has all the attachments that come to be able to plug it into a solar panel or into your vehicle. You can charge this using your car battery when it's running. And it has a 12 volt, 10 amp plug right here. The DC out is 12 volts, 3 amp, or 12 volt, 3 amp. Both of them are the same. And then it has your 2 outlets here, and then it has your USB type plug-ins here, and then a phone plug-in here at the top. So it's pretty neat. You want to keep it stored at a full charge, so if you're not using it consistently, I believe it was 6 months, it could sit for 6 months at a full charge. So that's how I store it. It comes with a little bag. This is its fan. You don't want to have it out in really intense sunlight. You don't want to heat it, and you don't want to block the fan. Highly recommend it. Again, I think it was $500, and I believe they gave me a coupon code that would take $100 off of that. So if you're somebody who feels like you need to have something like this around, it's a little bit heavy, but it's so compact that it's really easy to move around. The housing is nice. I don't have anything but nice things to say about it. So if you have a need for something like this, hopefully that review is helpful. And I have been using it for about 2 months now. And so, I mean, I gave it a really, really thorough go. I've used it in my car, I've used it in the cabin, I've used it here in the house when we've had power outages, and it hasn't even missed a beat. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, this is the Bluetti Maxoak, M-A-X-O-A-K, and wireless charging output of 10 watts. So I will put the links in. And previously I kind of turned my nose up at these kind of devices because I thought it was kind of cheating. If I'm going to live off grid, I should just live off grid. But as far as convenience factor and just knowing that I have it actually is very helpful. If we had an extended power outage, I would still be able to charge my cell phone and get a hold of my husband. I would still be able to get videos up if I needed to. I'd be able to get a hold of family because I have this. And I really appreciate that. So go check them out. Let them know that I sent you. I'll talk to you later. All right. And cannot see. I think it was the bottom one. Alternating current. I think if only I could see to know if I'm doing this right. All right, there we go. Cool little thing. When you store it and you're not using it, you need to store it at full. But I've got quite a bit of battery left. All right. So here's the stove. The outside is not warm, but the inside where the ceramic tile and the air crate are is. So this is how the little charger thingy's doing. We have a totally dirty little cabin right now while we're trying to get that our rocket stove set up, but it's running like a champ, and it is totally powering our light for filming while we are getting the rocket stove put back in. So dirty environment, fantastic little tool. We just need to remember not to leave it out here. Whenever you store it, you have to fully recharge it to 100%, and then it'll store for 6 months. So this is the first time I've used it to charge my computer. I can hear it going. You can probably hear it going. My battery was pretty well dead. I was down to 20%. Let's see. It appears to be charging. You do have to be careful that your device is turned off when you turn on the when you turn this on. You have to turn on the battery, the charger, that has to be on before you turn on your device. And you can tell I'm a farmer and that my kids are working for riding lessons because of all that. I've got feed, I've got helmets, I've got editing equipment galore.